Valkyrie Profile. Valkyrie Profile was released in North America around Christmas of 1999 to very little fanfare. It's a tri-ace game, and it is a unique style of gameplay and story that is only now just being revisited with games like Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII. You play as Lilith Valkyrie, one of 3 Norse goddesses whose duty is to take heroic mortal souls upon death and bring them to Valhalla. There, they'll booze it up and train for the final battle at the end of the world, Ragnarok. And Ragnarok is coming. But before we get into all of that, here's Platina.
I must hurry. I don't want to get scolded by Mother again.
Her life sucks.
I'm so sorry. Your clothes, are they...
Watch where you're going, girl. How dare you splash water on a guest?
Her life really sucks.
Listen to me. Your mother and father, they've sold you.
Her life really sucks. So, neighbor boy Lucian pulls Platina out of her bed to save her from a life of slavery, and they come to a field.
It's so beautiful. Do you think this might be... heaven?
These flowers, they're... Platina, we've got to get out of here. These flowers, all of them, they're... weeping lilies.
However, Platina knows her life sucks, and, well...
I can't stand it any longer, no matter how hard I've tried. Mother and Father have never treated me with kindness. If you care about me so much, Lucian, do you think... do you think we might be reborn? That we might be reborn together? I'm so glad to have known you, Lucian, but I have too many awful memories. I just want to forget it all.
No! Wake up! I won't have it! You want to forget? Would you forget me too, Platina? Platina!
We first see Lilith in a field of flowers just like the ones that Platina died in. However, since she's pseudo-immortal like the rest of the Norse pantheon, she's fine. Don't worry about it.
How nostalgic.
She heads to Odin's palace where he and Freya are waiting for her. They explain that Ragnarok is coming and it's time for Lilith to do her duty. So it's morphin' time! Freya heads down to Midgard with Gwyneth until she gets her god legs back. After all, Valkyries in this story are left dormant until needed. Freya explains Lenneth's power to find noble souls on the verge of death and then observe those last actions in life before claiming their souls for Valhalla. The first souls she finds are Arngrim, a mercenary swordsman of Artolia, and Jolanda, crown princess of Artolia. Arngrim and his buddy Lawford beat up this harpy, and he goes on to receive a cash bonus and some kind of award from the king. However, during the award ceremony, the king mutters something to Arngrim which pisses him off. He smashes the award and walks off, leaving the king speechless, and Jolanda pissed off that Arngrim was such a dick. Instead of just locking him up in a cell to rot for the rest of his life, they just let Arngrim go back home to hang out with his brother while Jolanda plots some sort of revenge. She puts on a disguise to hire Arngrim. After a bad experience at a restaurant, Arngrim discovers her identity. While he puzzles over why she would do this, so is the player. We never really understand why Jolanda was trying to hire Arngrim. Anyway, Arngrim gets a job the next day to escort some sort of cargo to Vilnor with this asshole, who I'm sure we'll never hear from again. However, on the way they're stopped by Artolian troops, who inspect the cargo to find Jolanda. They give her some medicine, and instead of waking her from her sleep, she turns into a monster! Arngrim returns to the cart, but by then the transformation is already complete. Luckily, Lenneth and Freya have been watching all this and step in to help Arngrim with the demon. While Arngrim reflects, we see a brief scene of Lenneth taking Jolanda's soul into herself. During all this, Arngrim has been reflecting on all that's happened and has figured out why Jolanda did what she did. After all, he was a dick to her father.
But a daughter can't help but love and honor her own father. Is there any child that would not feel anger at seeing their sire made a fool of?
Arngrim's naturally pissed because Lombard, a magician in the king's court, made that medicine for Jolanda for no real reason and goes to confront him. This goes about as well as you'd expect. Meanwhile, Jolanda and Lenneth are observing this unseen.
I beg of you! You must save Arngrim, please!
Save? How do you think he might be saved? By being allowed to continue to live, or by being chosen by me?
Lenneth eventually steps in to save Arngrim from being blasted to bits by Lombard, and they go to town on his evil necromancer face. Lenneth vanishes after the fight, leaving Arngrim to deal with the guards. Arngrim briefly reflects, and then... Yep, he's dead.
Why did you save me?
Consider it a gift.
It seems we'll be spending quite a bit of time together.
That it does, little one. Quite a bit indeed.
So, Lenneth's got 2 fresh souls, but sending level 1 mooks with absolutely no training to Valhalla to fight the battles of Ragnarok is just likely to get them obliterated. So Freya reveals Lenneth's other duty, seeking out dangerous places with monsters to fight so that our heroes can be trained up so they'll stand a chance against the Vanir. So off we go to these ruins in the mountains of Artolia, and that's where we'll pick it up with the stream today. Back to you, McDohl!